Helldivers, we trust you had a most patriotic weekend. Welcome to the 50th episode of The Liberty. As always, I'm your dedicated, freedom-loving host, Vanguard. Celebrations have been taking place across the Federation, and efforts to reconstruct Super Earth's megacities are already underway. As High Command considers our next move, the Helldivers have thrown their full might into pushing back the Terminids and the Automatons. Now that's what I call democratic. Here's what we have lined up for you today. We take a look back at the Battle of Super Earth, recounting our path from invasion to victory. Helldivers everywhere are now asking, what's next? While we await further orders from High Command, we provide some possible answers. And a moment of valor where one brave Helldiver flew higher and further than any other soldier in the history of Super Earth. The Battle for Super Earth, an official account. From the Ministry of Truth, for the people of the Federation. The battle for Super Earth will forever be etched into the annals of our glorious history, not just as a victory, but as proof of the indomitable will of humanity and the righteousness of managed democracy. Here's the recap. Phase 1. The assault begins. The enemy struck hard and fast. In a coordinated act of aggression, the Illuminate launched their initial assault on Egalopolis, simultaneously jamming orbital Eagle support and attempting to cut off our air superiority. On day 2, they expanded the front, attacking Remembrance and Equality on Sea, testing the mettle of our defenders across sectors 2, 5, and 6. Despite the ferocity of the assault, Helldivers answered the call. Fighting shoulder to shoulder with SCAF units, they held the line with unmatched valor. Egalopolis, though ultimately lost, became a Pyrrhic victory for the enemy. The cost of taking the city was so high that the first major order was completed ahead of schedule, dropping Illuminate fleet strength to 60% in just 3 days. Phase 2. The darkest hours. As the war dragged on, the front lines thinned. Administrative Center 2 came under siege and fell, followed closely by the raising of Remembrance. Seeing the severity of the situation, High Command enacted Super Defense Protocol Sapphire, mobilizing the last untapped natural resource, our remaining rainforests. Converted into emergency Eagle airstrips, they enabled tactical strikes across the planet. Yet the Illuminate pressed on. York Supreme and Port Mercy were assaulted, with only Prosperity City remaining untouched. In a pivotal strategic decision, a brave contingent of Helldivers redeployed to the Automaton front. Their mission? Gather the scrap required to bring the Democracy Space Station, or DSS, back online. The second major order narrowly failed, but the groundwork for salvation had been laid. Phase 3. The turning tide. The final phase began under dire conditions. With supplies low and cities crumbling, Port Mercy fell. York Supreme soon followed. Super Earth was bleeding, but the Helldivers on the Automaton front had completed their mission. The DSS roared back to life and descended into low orbit above our world, immediately alleviating logistics failures and bombarding enemy positions with relentless eagle fire. Faced with defeat, the Illuminate threw everything they had at Prosperity City, capital of Super Earth. There, the final stand began. Exhausted Helldivers, bruised but not broken, rallied with remaining SCAF units in the ruins of our civilization's cradle. On the 11th day of battle, the sun rose on a still free world. Prosperity City held. Equality on Sea, the first city attacked and the last to fall, never wavered. The Illuminate, broken and routed, fled the system. The battle for Super Earth was over. We had won. A new day for democracy. In the wake of victory, managed elections proceeded swiftly and smoothly. A new president has been sworn in by a landslide, a leader vetted, verified, and ready to guide Super Earth into its next era. High Command has already begun implementing sweeping reforms to prevent such a catastrophic incursion from ever taking root again. Our enemies will think twice, and those who don't, they'll learn what happens to those who threaten humanity. To the squids, you may have come close, but close only counts in unregulated democracies. We will have our vengeance, not just upon you, but upon all enemies of Super Earth. The battle is over, but the Galactic War continues. Troops, may the flames of freedom burn forevermore in your liberated hearts. What comes next for Super Earth? This battle was won, but peace is a luxury. The battle for Super Earth may be over, but managed democracy's mission is far from complete. As the fires of the Illuminate invasion die down and the last of the squid fleets are mopped up by orbital patrols, the sobering truth emerges. While we defended our home, the galaxy kept turning, and not in our favor. The bots have been busy. The automatons, ever the opportunists, have spread like a firmware update with no rollback. With Super Earth's attention diverted, the mechanical menace has expanded its grip on several key sectors, fortifying Cyberstan and surrounding systems. Early reports indicate they're deploying increasingly advanced subroutines and hardened outposts. It's likely they anticipated a post-Illuminate counteroffensive and are now preparing for the storm. Good. We intend to bring one. Retaking Cyberstan is no longer a matter of pride. It's a strategic necessity. Our analysts suggest that scrapping a significant number of bot units could provide the resources needed to develop next-generation anti-squid technology. Yes, the squids are gone, for now, but we've seen what they're capable of. The Illuminate won't stay gone unless we're ready. The gloom thickens. Meanwhile, the Terminids have been unusually quiet. Too quiet. The gloom continues to spread across the outer rim, devouring ecosystems and swallowing colonies. SEAF scouts report anomalies deep within the murk. Behavior patterns that don't match previous Terminid hive activity. Could it be a new breed? Some kind of queen? Or perhaps something far worse? There are whispers in the High Command Situation Room. Probes may soon be sent into the deepest parts of the gloom. If we can trace it to its source, if we can find the original homeworld or worlds of the bugs, we might finally have a chance to end this infestation at the root. Prepare for galaxy-wide operations. Helldivers should remain on alert. Orders may soon shift from defense to expansion. At present, you can expect campaigns focused on resource gathering, scrapping automaton units, sterilizing bug hives, and preparing infrastructure for large-scale offensives. We may also see rapid deployments to previously lost worlds, reclaiming what was taken while Super Earth stood alone. One battle ends, another begins. The enemies of managed democracy never sleep, and neither do we. A new major order is anticipated in the coming days. As soon as we have more information, we'll be sure to share it with you all. With that, let's see what Helldiver Interloper has for us in today's Galactic Weather Report.
Good day, Helldivers. Here's your Galactic Weather Report, brought to you by Democracy, now with 30% less friendly fire. Let's start on Super Earth, where skies are sunny and glorious, except for the lingering gloom caused by the squid ghosting us like a bad Tinder date. Don't worry though, Democracy doesn't need friends, just bullets and orbital superiority. Meanwhile, on planet Yellowware, where the forecast today is metallic with a chance of missile swarms, a high-pressure front of automatons is moving in, launching volleys of rocket salvos that scream, "We hate freedom." Expect moderate to heavy flak showers and the occasional orbital laser strike to brighten up your day. Pack your railgun and maybe an extra pair of underpants. Over on planet Terek, things are heating up faster than a laser cannon with a jammed trigger. Brace yourselves for Terminid tempests, complete with acidic bugnadoes swirling through the plains. Winds gust up to Charger on steroid speeds, tossing unsuspecting dive buddies into low orbit. Bottom line, if you planned a beach day, reschedule. That's all for now. Stay safe, stay loaded, and remember, if the weather gets too rough, just drop a 500 kg bomb and make your own sunshine.
And now for today's Moment of Valor. A leap of faith, a flight of democracy. Today's Moment of Valor comes to us from Private Scorch of the 505th Regiment, a true Helldiver, a proud member of the Super Earth Salute official Super Discord, and now, quite possibly, the most airborne citizen in the history of managed democracy. The clip begins like any other act of standard bravery. Scorch, ever the patriot, charges a bot devastator head-on with nothing but a sword, righteous fury, and that signature 505th swagger. For a moment, it looks like he might actually pull it off. Then, the laws of physics take a personal interest. A mysterious gravitational anomaly, likely the result of a nearby stratagem detonation, planetary instability, or the wrath of liberty itself, launches Private Scorch hundreds of feet into the air and clear across the mission area. No jump pack, no parachute, just a Helldiver, soaring on wings of pure freedom and doomed inertia. Mission Control, doing their job with cold mechanical efficiency, promptly branded Scorch a traitor for leaving the operational zone. But traitor or not, he stuck the landing, with all the grace of a democratic meteor, straight into the icy waters of the alien world. He survived the impact. He did not survive the swim. While hilarious, this is ultimately a tragic tale, a story of one man's unwillingness to let gravity tell him where he belongs. We here at the SES salute Private Scorch for his valor, his devotion, and his final gloriously flailing descent into the frigid depths of freedom. Want to have your own moment of valor featured on an upcoming episode of the Liberty? Join the Super Earth Salute official Super Discord and submit your finest clips. Epic triumphs, catastrophic failures, or flights that break the sound barrier. The more heroic or ridiculous, the better. Until next time, may your stratagems be swift, your revives timely, and your water landings optional. And now for the Super Earth Art of War, the enemy you didn't see. On the value of surprise, slaps, and sudden explosions. It is often said that the wise Helldiver learns from every drop. The wiser Helldiver learns from someone else's drop. But the wisest Helldiver of all, they expect the drop pod to land directly on their face, and have already filed the paperwork for medical discharge and accommodation benefits. In the grand theater of war, experience is useful. It's the comforting blanket that lets you believe you're ready. But war is not a blanket. War is a bed of nails with the heating turned up to meltdown. And the only thing experience guarantees is that you've probably already developed bad habits. Consider the seasoned Helldiver who boldly claims, "I've done this mission 100 times. Moments later, they are flash fried by their own Eagle strafing run because someone hit the wrong beacon while shouting, "Cover fire!" Or the veteran who swears they know all the automaton patrol routes, right before being atomized by a devastator that definitely wasn't there a second ago. So what's the lesson here? There is always something you didn't anticipate. A surprise Illuminate teleport behind your lines. A Terminator that gets stuck in a rock until it's not. A democracy delivery beacon landing directly on your last living teammate. Every moment in the field is an opportunity to be humbled, hilariously, by the universe's indifference to your spreadsheets and combat hours. War is chaos wrapped in planning paper. The only constant is unpredictability. And embracing this is the path to true Helldiver enlightenment. Not the kind that brings peace, but the kind that means you always bring 3 different stratagems, a backup revive stim, and emotional readiness to be betrayed by physics. So expect the unexpected, love the absurd, salute the friendly fire. Because no matter how prepared you think you are, war will always find a new way to slap you across the helmet, and Super Earth expects you to thank it. Onward, Helldivers, and remember, the moment you say, "We've got this," you absolutely do not. Thanks for tuning in, troops. The Liberty airs every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so mark your calendars. If you haven't checked out our other content yet, make sure you do so. And don't forget to subscribe to Future Salute and Indie Salute while you're at it. Stay vigilant, Helldivers, and we'll see you again soon for Super Earth and Democracy.